Hey friends, good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, May 30th, 2023, and here we are here with Star Trek Resurgence. Finally, the second Star Trek game in like a year. We had that Prodigy game a little while back, which is more of a platformer than anything else, and I did enjoy it, but like it felt like a more traditional tie-in game than anything else, and it wasn't a bad game, just like wasn't my thing, you know. Good morning, Thorsten. But now we have Star Trek Resurgence, which appears to be like a more proper style adventure game, like the old style Trek adventures. So I've set aside the entire week for this. I'm hoping it's good. If it turns out to be crap, we'll play something else. But I want to thank the PR folks for sending me a key for this. They recommend a gamepad, so that's what we're going to play with. Oh, did I do it? I hit. Okay. I mean, are we doing it? Oh. Really? I had to do this? So I can select this. Oh, what? Okay. Well, that's fun. Here we go. Okay.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good.
I should have put on subtitles. Sorry, I'll do that in a second.
Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
You might experience some turbulence. Quick time events? Really? Oh no.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
Stick around in Starfleet and you'll be sure to see worse than this. I have.
And you're here to talk about it.
In the flesh.
That's
Oh boy.
good. Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, I hate QuickTime events. I hate them. So I hope they're limited. I hate QuickTime events. Hey, it's one of those things. What's that, a Nova class? Beep, beep, beep. Okay, hang on. Yeah, subtitles. Thank you. Wait, are these the only... Oh. Okay, so we turned subtitles on. Treat it like Alpha Protocol. Yeah, right? Alright, so they don't give you much in the way of options.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Wait, are those the only options they truly give you? Hang on. Yeah, those are the only options they give you. Well, that's great. Well, at least I can turn subtitles on, I guess. We're going to walk very awkwardly.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Yeah, yeah.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
You're gonna make me actually do this with the trigger? You're gonna make me do it? You're gonna make me do it? Oh, for fuck's sake.
Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek?
Kobliad?
Torvalin test.
The hell's that?
You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before.
The pleasure is mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
This doesn't sound like Star Trek music. It sounds like World War II film music. I can highlight things to interact with, I guess. That's kind of neat.
Good day, Commander.
Sure, don't say anything back. That's fine. There does not appear to be any running. No running. Oh, there is running. Okay. You gotta click the thing.
Commander Ermot is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
Excuse me. Can I get through there? Can I get through? Excuse me. Excuse me. There's a thingy over there I'd like to interact with. Excuse me. Oh boy. Okay. All right, I guess I gotta go the long way around. Start walking like this in real life.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
For what? Oh, docks. Right.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board. Excuse me, have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
Well, it looks like he's the only thing left to interact with, though. Excuse me, I'm just going to walk between you.
Excuse me.
Oh, good. Look at that. That's nice. Supposed to say excuse me when you walk between people.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermat, Operations Officer on the Resolute.
I thought he was the captain.
Commander?
I guess not.
I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before.
Morning, Jacob. Morning, Ferd.
We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice.
Vacancy.
From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework?
Like I said, we're very lucky.
It's a California class. No, it's not. It just kind of looks like a California class. But this is before the California classes. This is like...
Doesn't look much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame.
Someone likes hot fuzz.
The warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed.
Centaur class? Okay, sure.
Frequency, but it was more than
It's a new one to me.
cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
Were you hurt in the accident? In the equipment malfunction?
Nothing worse than the loss of so many.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Trust is earned, and it sounds like I have my work cut out for me. But I plan on winning them over.
I don't doubt that. I just figured it was better to know what you're walking into.
Of course.
I haven't...
Starfleet has assigned us a high priority mission at the hotel.
Interesting. Oh, interesting. Okay, sure, I guess. I haven't seen First Contact in a long time.
Region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
I actually kind of hate the Next Generation movies. Oh, left. This is what we're doing, game? With these things? Okay. Oh.
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Wait, are you... You making me do this? Oh no. Really? This is what we're doing? Oh, no, don't oh, come, no, man. I've honestly never played a Telltale game before. This is gonna be my first Telltale style game ever. I hate shit like this. I'm sorry. I hate shit like this. Just... Wait, why? What? Oh, come on. Jeez. What? Oh, come on. No. Oh, this is so dumb. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, you might need Klingon Academy for that, Jacob. Which is still very playable, by the way. Wait, what? Okay, so,
Is that?
Okay. You're gonna have to go the abandonware. Really, game? You're gonna have to go the abandonware route, sadly, for that one, Shogun. It's not sold anywhere.
I thought that thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Neely.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
True. Okay, I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and not be so negative because it's a Star Trek game and I want this game to do well. It's just because that kind of real-time nonsense isn't for me. Just okay, try to be more positive. It's Star Trek. You love Star Trek, Brian. You love Star Trek. So come on. You're about to get a Trek tattoo, so let's just try and be positive, okay? It walked me into the turbo lift for me.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stick with it.
We can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious.
I'm gonna try. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna try and look at this as a Star Trek episode wherein I do a little thing every now and again, rather than a game.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
I think I'll have a better time.
Just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edsolar on repeated occasions.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
Okay, I'll try and have a better outlook on this.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job.
I think you did say,
Right
Petty
now,
Officer.
that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule.
It all comes down to us, Nelly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board.
Hey, it's like a.
Gotta be tough coming as a
It's a.
replacement. That's for sure.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Is that the first contact spacesuit?
Getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt.
Kind of looks like it.
Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
I just don't understand certain things. Like, why use the right trigger for that?
So what's
You know,
the word?
you know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't get.
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go.
But you know, I'm gonna try and see this as an opportunity to spend time in this universe that I love.
See you on the other side.
Oh, that's not encouraging. See you on the other side.
Magnetic souls.
Oh, do I gotta do a thing? It kind of looks all. It also looks like the motion picture spacesuit a little bit. Oh. Gotcha.
Never gets old.
Let's go.
Yeah, I could never do this. Oh my god, my fear of heights right now. Oh god. Ah. I'm gonna say, gameplay elements aside, so far it feels Trekky. You know, Trekkish.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily.
Oh, what just happened? Oh, well, the game crashed. Oh no. Okay, well, I wonder, I didn't get an opportunity to like save my game or anything, so yeah. I complimented the game and it got nervous. Hang on. Let me check a couple of things here. I usually don't toy with the settings. Let's see. Oh. Well, okay. What? Wait. Wait. Wait a minute. We don't have... So, I usually run at 1024. I mean, I usually run at, what, 25... Whatever 1440p is, right? You know, whatever 1440p is, that's what I run at. And that isn't an option here. Oh, really, game? I wonder if I should play you in a window. Maybe that would make things better. Yeah, let's play you in a window. Maybe that'll make things a little better. All right, let's see if it's got autosaves. Okay. All right, good. And maybe playing in a window would be better. What's this?
Forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
That's going to be a gameplay element later. She's going to be running low on whatever duridium is. We're going to have to make a choice. I bet. I'm not using the replicator.
Can't wait to plot a course myself.
No, I'm not using the replicator. The game wants me to use the replicator. Let's see.
Just a sip of something.
Oh, absolutely.
Coffee.
Oh, I should have taken Ractigino. Damn it. That's okay. I should have taken Ractigino. That's okay.
Perfect temperature. Don't know how they do it.
Just a sip?
Jara Rydek. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrit Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
You can spare me the pomp and circumstance. There's plenty of work to be done without all that.
You always had a work ethic like nothing I'd ever seen. That's just what this ship needs at the moment. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
You'll have to forgive me. I don't really know the details.
Starfleet has been kind enough to keep the story contained. Probably because they want to protect me. But I don't mind telling you. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second.
That mean?
The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship could handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
You're being too hard on yourself. It wasn't your fault.
It's not a question of blame. It's about responsibility. No matter what the circumstances.
I wonder what happens when you don't make a choice.
I will say, Might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO, and I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be honest to a fault.
Good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, it has to be my call. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake.
We?
Or at least I can't.
There you go.
I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here.
Probably is.
We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
Wait, the Tau?
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
Wait a minute.
I see it as a golden
Hang
opportunity.
on a second.
to not only prove what Resolute and her crew are truly capable of.
Wait a minute.
A mission for which
Oh,
we're
no.
perfectly qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hotari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater.
It's a breach in the warp.
That will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
So basically, we're being sent into the eye of a storm, more powerful than anything on record.
Well, yes. But we're taking every precaution. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify.
Who's Commander Farsight?
The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
Uh-huh.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
Thank you. But I feel like I still have so much to learn.
You'll have plenty of opportunity. And if you're willing to put in the work, I'll do everything in my power to help you along the way. Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
While we prepare to fight the Order of Chaos. I mean the forces of chaos. So Tom, you asked how the game is. We're going to try and look at it less as a game and more of an episode of Star Trek where sometimes you change a thing. We're going to look at it like a which way book, basically. That's what they call those, right? Which way books? What do they call those things? You know what I'm talking about, where you choose the page to go to next. What are those called? Is it a which way book? Choose your own adventure. Thank you, Luke.
If I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara.
Thank you, guys.
Our new first officer.
That's how we'll look at this.
Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business. One of? Well, what he lacks in humility more than makes up for in ability.
Bajoran!
Nice to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Did I tell you guys I just ordered a Bajoran earring?
Commander Westbrook, our chief science officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
I love Bajorans.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time. And I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
I'm glad we have some people of color in here, too.
I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves. And you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
That's very kind of you to say, but enough about me. We have a lot of work to do.
Oh, yes, of course.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home.
Yeah,
I'll be on the starbase. Have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Yeah, the music reminds me of like a World War II game. You know what I mean? Not a Star Trek game. Not that that's a bad thing, really. Activate tactical holo. What the what?
Tactical holo dais. Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
Which does what exactly? Okay. Sure. Can I put it down now? No? Okay. Anything else to interact with? Oh. There's a few things to interact with.
The first officer seat. My seat. Right now, though, I need to fill in for Captain Solano. Tactical station. Hopefully, a diplomatic mission won't require we use our weapons much. But if it comes to that, we'll be ready.
I feel like we're watching a movie where Pearl Harbor's about to happen.
So many decks. Full of crew that are now my responsibility.
Which I'm fine with.
Communications. Keeps us in contact internally and with other vessels.
I think there's more than that, but...
Operations. Staffing, supplies. There's a lot to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont. The helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class, meaning it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do. Impressive range of view.
Oh, wow, okay. That's cool.
Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel. Primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude.
Operations.
Speak with him later. Turbolift could take me anywhere on the ship, but I'm right where I need to be.
God, what does operations do? Kind of a mix of everything, I think.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
No! I mean...
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
Uh-oh.
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
Sif. Okay. Well, I appreciate the sense of scale the game is trying to give me.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I
Oh, that makes sense, Spaz.
town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No.
I've just never heard it called Sif before. I know what it is. I've just never heard the word.
Machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
Now, what are you complaining about? You got the best seat in the house out here. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere. See new worlds. Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the Sif emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
I know. Oh, wait. Okay. I know plenty about the lore, and I never even. But I didn't play a lot of Star Trek Online. So, all right. So. Gameplay. That's okay. I want to pick up that thing. Okay, it's fine.
Beginning recalibration.
Wait, oh. Okay. This doesn't make any sense. What?
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
But it didn't make any sense where I put the thing. Uh-oh. We got a red bleep.
Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I'm the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed...
It just didn't make sense where to move the thing.
You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
That's very kind of you to be concerned about my well-being. But you don't need to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned. Just curious, that's all.
Yeah, this guy's a dick. Oh.
Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. and he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
I don't think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
It's a Trek thing.
Captain Solano is on the starbase. Let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound. On screen.
Shields! Shields! Sorry.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy.
Turn us into the wave!
I'm reading power abnormalities all over.
Red alert!
Aye.
Luke, I think you're exactly right, Luke.
Gangway and retracting.
Trolley problem incoming.
Sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Oh yeah, they disappeared for a bit.
We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't.
Oh, for God's sakes.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our shields.
Petrosian, get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields.
I really hope it does it, because we got people outside.
One shot.
Understood. On my command.
Heading locked.
Raise shields.
God, I hope this works.
This is it.
All hands, brace for impact.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
Blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
Oh, good. I thought they were going to make me walk all the way there. That's nice.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
Oh! Apparently I just got hit.
Opening the access panel.
And now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
What am I doing? Oh.
The EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance. Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovak can...
Oh, shit! Well, that's terrible. Oh, oh god. Oh, oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, shit snacks. Uh-oh.
Get down! Diaz to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working. What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put them through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We have crew outside and are looking for the
We
safest
have
way
people
to...
on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull. Theoretically, we'll repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Chara?
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
You better be sure you make the right decision.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark!
Grab my hand!
Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark!
I didn't see the red trigger button thing before.
Perfect.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
There's another person out there. Why isn't she helping? Okay. Okay, sure.
Look out!
Oh no.
I got you. Petty Officer Etzelar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There's an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Etzelar there to access the interior.
Roger that. Go in there now.
Yeah, I guess the transporter isn't working. I guess. I would appreciate a line to tell me why the transporters can't be used in this instance, but okay.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
What's that? Oh.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. time to fight me on this. Get in there!
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that.
Come on.
We made it.
They're safe, bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off. Medical. Got one wounded at my location. You don't look so good.
He could stretch his arms real long.
You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermot?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Uh-oh. He's pissed.
You disobeyed my orders. Well?
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information I had.
You disobeyed my orders!
Oh boy.
Not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet.
Oh shit.
What is it going to do to my credibility on this ship? From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Captain, I told you I'd be honest, so here it is. Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, let's just boil it down to, you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you over the music, sir. What? Uh-oh.
All departments reporting full mission readiness.
Oh, was that a good thing? I don't know.
We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know...
You're standing on the tactical thingy.
We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Oh, they fixed those quick. What am I saying? They built a whole starbase in a year.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
Okay, now we're channeling Star Trek 2 and 3, apparently, which is perfect. I agree with you.
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me? Helm. Do it.
Nicely done.
Easy.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look so good.
Oh, it's red.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
I don't know what my go order would be. I've always been a fan of Punch It. It's probably my favorite. Or Hit It. I'd probably say something nice, like, let's go.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
I doubt that. Have you seen this show?
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself.
And he has a superpower now.
The iridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet, and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
I know what it means. And I know the responsibility that comes with it. but I can't be anything more than who I am. And if someone has a problem with that, or expects something else, then that's their problem, not mine.
That's exactly right. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. But the more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took guts to defy a direct order.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship. And everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of Duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
Lieutenant Bedrosian.
I came to see if you were okay. We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one knew what was happening.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
You don't have to explain to me.
Okay.
Don't forget in the oven you heard.
I'm just glad you're okay.
Okay.
You trusted me
Love you.
earlier.
Have a good day.
The shields.
Be safe.
I appreciated that. I want you to know that I have your back.
Thank you.
I was gonna walk away. Like, what?
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's a combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing. She's come by a couple of times to see you already.
Has she now?
Be brief.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duvall. You did take one hell of a shot, though.
I hear you've been checking in on me. Thanks for that.
One of the benefits of working a security rotation. Lots of opportunities to walk by sickbay and stop in. Millie was looking in on you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now, I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse.
It's okay, Miranda. You can tell me anything.
I know that.
Then come on. Just spit it out.
I'm trying. Let me talk.
My hair lets me fly.
What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that right.
Sorry to interrupt, but the patient needs to rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Yeah, Trek is really inconsistent when it comes to romance. So I don't know. It just felt like the right thing to do in the moment. She seems nice. I don't want to hurt her feelings, but we'll see.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Oh!
Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Gameplay.
I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Oh no.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering.
It's a shuttle from Star Trek V.
Losing.
I can't get it.
No wonder it's not going so well. It's really old.
We won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
So hello, Southern Cross. Hello, Tech Cat.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Wait, it needs to be run. What?
Come on, Diaz.
Okay, one, why is this a manual thing? And two, why does this guy have to do it?
Lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Okay. Gameplay, I guess. All right, here we go. What am I doing? All right, so.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Wait, what?
That's gonna take out the shuttle. Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it. Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 7, 200 meters on the intercept course. Maneuvering. Got it.
Whoa!
Good sound effects.
On the bridge.
It sounded like it was up here. It's good sound.
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Excuse me.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Ambassador Spock. The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Okay, that's a good Leonard Nimoy impersonation. Why you... What?
Well, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer...
Carter? Carter Diaz. Sir.
I am pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz. It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival. Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
Well, it wasn't all me. I got some help from upstairs.
A bombastic approach to clearing debris. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies.
I think this is shortly after Nemesis.
What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
Yeah, I don't know if this is before Lower Decks. I think it's before Lower Decks, honestly. I think. I'm not 100%. I think it's shortly after Nemesis. Oh, come on, Spock ain't that bad.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed. And the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. Centaur class, I think?
And Hotari. Illydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there. The Illydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
How is it the Hotari were able to turn the tables and take the mines against superior forces Especially after decades in this arrangement.
Unclear. The answer to that question may be the key to a new, lasting peace, and one that I hope we can uncover during these negotiations. But it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Elydian fleet if this escalates to open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
If we could convince them, it would restore the peace. But we would need the Hotari to accept a difficult compromise.
Made all the more difficult by the emotions flaring on both sides, no doubt.
Neither the Elydians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Elydians as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
The Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
I wouldn't go that far, Commander.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position. Given the Federation's involvement in the Elydium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the Ion Storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Elydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past. But they have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
That may answer why the Hotari were able to strike back after so long. They finally had an opportunity, and they took it.
That would also explain the Elydians' restraint.
And reason to learn as much about the energy anomaly as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught at a disadvantage of our own.
That's an excellent Nimoy impersonation.
So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case.
I'm honored to be included in the negotiation process.
You're not just included, you are instrumental.
Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Dun dun dun! Oh, now that I see it from that angle, I do recognize it from First Contact. Yeah, okay.
I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with. I am not the chief engineer of this shuttlecraft.
When you look at it logically, yes, it is just a shuttle. No different than any of the others.
There is plenty that is different about it, and that is what you are to investigate. But please limit your findings to observable scientific phenomena.
We'll try to restrain ourselves.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
It seems like he's warming up to us.
Yeah.
Even Chovok has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to make me go first. I don't know what I was thinking.
You've pulled me out of trouble how many times? Call it even.
Okay. At the very least, maybe I can track down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
A lot of consoles popping up on the floor.
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
So, Shogun, I wanted to bring up, Jacob, I wanted to bring up a point. I agree that sometimes I wish side stories like this would just be able to marinate in their own, like, let's just enjoy the new people and the new setting and everything without bringing in a big name from the mainline thing. I get that, but sometimes you need an anchor. Sometimes fans need an anchor, and bringing in Spock, for example, is a decent anchor. But I get that it's like, oh god, really? We got to bring in this guy? Fine. The Excelsior is still around. If you watch Picard season 3, there's still an Excelsior. So, excuse me. I'm just thinking it's funny how it looks like one of the shuttles from Star Trek V, which is way before this.
So, I know about your talk with Miranda.
Uh-oh.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation.
Is that going to be a problem?
I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms.
You really don't believe in me, huh?
It's not you. Or her. Just running the numbers, and things don't work out more often than they do. I like my friends, and I like our group. I don't want to lose that. Is that thing done yet?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
One thing I am enjoying about this, even though this interactivity is ridiculous, you don't get to see a lot of the deep down dirty business of Star Trek. Like the scanning and the diagnostics and stuff like that. So I am appreciative that we are getting to see more of that. Usually the show just glosses over stuff like this.
Warp point. No faults, just those warnings.
I'm kind of enjoying that we're marinating in this kind of thing. Oh, I guess I have to click the things.
Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code.
That is a trill, as far as we can tell, but we don't know. They haven't said whether they're joined or not. So it could be an unjoined trill.
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. Their the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation.
Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this bit.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this detective work.
Out of tolerance or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other. Let's not overcomplicate this. One of these systems is likely broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Okay. Whoa. What? Out of range. I'm standing right next to it. Can I scan her? No. Am I supposed to walk around? Okay, I'll walk around. What? Oh, okay. Yo, what are you doing? I didn't move you.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
I'm not here.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now. Should be an interesting ride down to the surface.
You're You're the one with the important job to do. Keeping the captain safe. And Ambassador Spock.
It doesn't always feel that way. Baking in the hot sun, standing guard next to an empty shuttlecraft. But it has its moments.
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole, steam engines were the warp drives of their day part.
Well, they were. I mean, he's right, really. I mean,
You don't want to miss your train.
I do have to go.
don't they have other shuttlecraft? Like, why do they have
Not
to?
gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now. That was nice.
Yeah, it was.
Save some of that for when I get back.
Oh, she gonna die. She gonna die. As soon as he said that, y'all know she gonna die. Save some of that for when I get back. You're not coming back. Yeah, oh, she's dead. She's so dead. She's dying. Absolutely dying. 100%. Well, they have another shuttle. Why are you taking the damaged one? That was... I don't fucking know. Whatever. She gonna die. She gonna die.
You could float back down to reality. We still have a ways to go.
Why put her on the... Why? Oh, wait. Was that not the broken shuttle? Oh, okay. I thought they took down the broken shuttle. I was gonna say.
But the
Whew.
computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it. Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now. Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
What?
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1. 1.2. Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
Well, that's bad. That's a cool looking ship. How do you know it's alien? Purple. Oh, and they always do it. They always do their experiments right next to the warp core. Haven't you seen Star Trek? Let's do our danger experiments right next to the reactor. Yeah, Star Trek.
Master Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari. We are honored you've come. My name is Tylos Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours. And this
Hey,
is
man.
Commander Jara Rydek, first officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and the Illidians.
We are honored to be here as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation, the reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here. If you'll excuse me.
I think we're about to begin.
Did you hear the arrogance from that guy? I don't know what we're walking into here. But that guy was something.
That may be true. But let's keep an open mind going into the negotiations. Hopefully he's just one voice amongst many.
Then let's hope he's the outlier.
The Hotari have invited us as their guests, so we must show them the proper respect.
So the captain here is one of the legendary that guys, a real character actor, Jim Meskimen. He's been in a million things if you're looking him up. He's been in a zillion things. Yeah, this guy. Hard to tell. But yeah, he's been in a million things, this guy.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule.
I'm enjoying it.
Yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Illidian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war.
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced.
Oh, shit.
But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
I'm trying to keep an open mind here, but it's not easy. I thought they wanted us here.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about the Kobliad?
She's not part
She
of...
can speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
Oh, shit. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. The story of Picard Season 3 was bananas. It wasn't a great story at all. Oh, here we go.
Now then, what is your name?
Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobliad, you would know better than anyone. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their injustice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Elidians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Elidians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it?
Ah, shit.
Or would you negotiate a peace?
Fuck me. I'm gonna go with what I would say.
There is no remedy for what the Kobliad suffered, and I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become the oppressor. So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered. That is the real opportunity.
Perhaps, Commander Rydek. Perhaps. Unfortunately, that was not the case, was it?
No, it was not.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here? I want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
It's possible the Federation has an interest in both peace and securing a steady source of dilithium. One does not preclude or prevent the other. But that's just my personal opinion.
Given the Federation has done business with the Elidians for decades, I would agree. It's entirely possible, if not highly likely.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without Elidian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies! The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries.
Oh, shit.
So tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari?
Oh, wait.
Or the Elidian?
You're asking me? Her slash her? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Be one or the other, not both.
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Well said. How could the just and wise Federation make any other choice?
This is an outrage. The Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Lydia will not be deterred. We will take back our mines by any means necessary.
Then you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
I suppose there is some sense to that. I hope we meet again, Jara Ryder.
Shit!
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
No, this race has showed up in Trek before. So yeah, it's not a new, like, I looked it up and I didn't remember, but yeah, this I mean, personally, I side with the Hotari and myself, you know, because they've been the ones actually doing the work, you know, but I don't know.
Soothing.
Really, game? You did, why? Oh, okay, I don't know.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Illidians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
Even though the Hotari should have control of the mines, some of the Illidian claims are still valid.
There you're wrong, but we can agree to disagree.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Illidians.
Not seized, reclaimed, and restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive, before the Illidians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Did you have help from someone else?
Hotari stands alone against the Illidian forces. We don't need help from anyone. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship.
Oh, it is not.
Ready to contend with anything the Illidians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
It wasn't designed as a warship. More for scientific research and exploration.
But the Federation must have ships designed for war.
Technically, they're Starfleet ships representing the Federation. But yes.
I see.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Oh, I can see how, you know, let's see. I can see how everyone thinks of her. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Oh, okay, cool. I want Spock to like me so much, you guys. I just want Spock to really, really like me. That's all I care about.
Commander Rydek, I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
I'm glad to hear it. I just hope you're not the only one who feels that way.
I apologize for that. These are unusual times, to say the least. Much has changed.
Why was the...
I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat.
I cannot wait for that lower decks
The Hotari have the upper hand.
crossover.
We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden.
So excited.
New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
I assume they've taken your place.
I was one of the Queen's most trusted advisors. And I hope to prove myself worthy of being so again. Which is why you're here. My fear has been that the Illidians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them. But it has no teeth.
Oh, shit.
Like they're afraid of what might happen.
That's not the one I meant
Is
to.
it for fear of the repercussions? Once the Federation became part of the equation.
Possibly. But I almost want to say this was from the very start. Before engaging the Federation was even on the table.
That's not what I wanted to choose. Damn it. Okay, fine, whatever.
Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security.
Oh, interesting.
I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines. I've made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. But that's what concerns me. Whatever they're hiding, it can't be good.
How can we know?
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find.
Why, Julie? Star Trek is...
Forward to our meeting again.
Star Trek has always been bananas. You know? I'm sure they'll have an interesting way to explain it.
Notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured in the interest of fairness, I should offer another perspective.
Of course.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me. Without Illidian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. But clearly, you weren't aware.
Of all my concerns, dilithium is not one of them. I could care less about securing a supply, now or in the future.
I'd be curious to know if the rest of the Federation shares your indifference. Major Solid Arminta, Special Attaché, Illidian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what really happened?
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
You just answered your own question. How do a group of miners do something that in theory can't be done? That's how. Harnessing the storm.
But even if it's true, how does that even happen?
You tell me.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Ryder.
But, look at her butt as she runs in the uniform. But, look at her butt.
That was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Illidians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
Failed.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clearer picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Alright, wait. I gotta stop. I hope it lets me save right here. Can I save? Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that.
Setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
All right, we're gonna go. Can we return to that? Yeah. Okay. Good. We could return to that. That's good. Okay. So I'm actually enjoying this. Once I changed my attitude from this being a game to this being an episode of the show wherein you interact with something every now and again and make a choice. Yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot more now. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I mean, we're gonna play it probably till Friday. But I don't know if we'll actually finish it by Friday. But yeah, we'll play it tomorrow. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I honestly had more fun with this than I expected once I changed my attitude about it. Yeah, it's exactly Intriguing Facts. It's basically an interactive TV episode. Exactly. And once I changed my outlook to look at it that way, I started having a lot more fun. Like, Star Trek is about telling stories, and this is telling a story wherein once in a while we make a choice. No. So yeah, we're going to play more tomorrow. So we'll see you back here for episode 2 of Star Trek Resurgence. Have a great day, everyone. Be safe, be well. Please take care of each other. Thank you to our patrons as always, and thank you to those of you who've gotten vaccinated. If you haven't gotten vaccinated yet, please get vaccinated. And with that, we'll see you tomorrow.